Hello everybody and welcome to your D2CL playoff action today. I'm Durkit in the JD Studios. We've had a little bit of a change up. HR have dropped out, been replaced by BBC, but they're still going to be playing up against Ninjas in Pajamas. Best of 3 here in the, currently upper bracket. A loser of this drops down to play against Power Rangers in the lower bracket best of 3 after this one. And we'll see how teams progress through. There are best of 5s tomorrow in the evening that Cap will be covering. But let's head over to this game, see what we're dealing with, and I can welcome in someone that can maybe keep me sane through all these switches and changes and things like that. Blaze, how you doing, man?
Doing all right. Already cast a little bit of Dota today, so jumping into the European scene, it should be fun. But man, do we have a lineup from BBC? Yeah, they're not only standing in as far as their role in the tournament, but they've got quite a few for their team as a whole.
Oh yeah. Hook is a Jordanian player, I believe. I know he's from the Middle East, but he's played for 4 bunnies, 1 turtle, and a couple of other teams. He's a good friend with the App Store. Blitz, he's our very own Blitz Dota standing in here for BBC. Let's see what they can do. He won't be going, he won't be playing for them at the LAN event, I don't think. If they do qualify, they'll have their full roster there. But this draft, let's quickly run through it. Sniper, Earthshake, Alina, and Phantom Lancer taken out by NiP. BBC love to run that PL, occasionally, but Wisp, Troll, Chen, and one more here that BBC need to ban out. And I love it that they're banning Chen against Ninjas in Pajamas. They do such great work with that hero early, mid, and late. They just know how to run it. There are very few teams that still like to pick up Chen because sometimes it's a hero that can, not make an impact early and fall off very quickly. But if you do have that constant pressure and momentum building up, Ninjas in Pajamas know how to run that.
Yep, but they're taken out in phase 2, along with the Strength Initiator, the Axe, who just would cause a lot of problems for heroes that want to at least get their ultimates off. I mean, Phoenix trying to survive via Supernova would be really important, and of course Skywrath, he kind of just drops everything really quickly and is on the run. But the interesting thing is no respect ban for the Blitz Dota Storm Spirit. Do you think we're going to see it picked up?
No, I was chatting to him. I popped into the office just behind the studio, and Blitz came in, and I saw him opening Dota 2. Oh, what are you going to do? You going to go play ranked or something? No, man, you're about to cast me play. What? What's going on here? He's going to be standing in for Levy, so he's going to be playing in the 5 role, I believe.
Okay.
So there's not going to be. Well, he could play Jungle Storm. That's a possibility, but I don't think it's going to happen here. Phoenix and Scarlet, the first 1-2 from Balkan Bears, but Ninjas in Pajamas already have their hands on the Queen of Pain and Juggernaut.
The Scarlet is actually really strong against the 2 that are selected here. Queen of Pain and Juggernaut, very spell reliant, and if you can get the silence out early on either one, then they're going to have difficulty blinking in and out of the fight, getting the Omni Slash off. That range nerf in particular really hurts Juggernaut's potential to go toe-to-toe with Skywrath. Like, he wants to go for a solo Omni Slash play on him all the time he can. Skywrath is so low armor, it should be easy pickings. But as far as the possibility of him getting an Omni Slash off on Skywrath before he gets silenced, it's pretty much non-existent, and he's going to rely on others to initiate for him. The Queen of Pain, the Magnus, jumping in and having a lot of AoE follow through. So I'm actually loving NiP's draft right now. Although they're countered out a decent amount by the Chronosphere as well as the Disables coming in for the supports, if they do connect with their spells, that RP and Empowered Juggernaut should be able to tear through their lineup.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it looks like Balkan Bears have some form of, predetermined draft here. Their picks are going through very quickly. Their bans, maybe a little more time spent on that. But it looks like with the Scarlet, Witch Strong, Faceless Void, Witch Doctor and Faceless Void, they've definitely got a nice couple of combos there, but laning phase is incredibly important to them. They need levels up on the Scarlet Mage, Witch Doctor. Do you see this just being a defensive tri-lane? They've got 2 kind of zoning supports. Neither of them is particularly greedy. If you get Witch Doctor a few levels, though, he can farm the jungle relatively well.
Yeah, no, I don't like Void in the aggressive stance anyways. Like, the aggro try for him, it can really fall flat quickly. Like, he does bring something with the Time Walk and Time Lock, but not much compared to what other cores you'd want. If they wanted to go for an aggro try, they'd be looking for a different carrier that can do a little bit more in the first couple of levels, and I think they're just going to go chronocentric. They're going to say, trust in the Chronosphere, farm up this Void, get him in a position where he can just jump in with BKB. Presumably BKB. I guess he is up against a lot of stuff that goes right through it, so maybe not. But either way, he wants to get a couple of major items, pop the Chronosphere, get Mystic Flare, Supernova, and Death Ward all around that Chronosphere, and just wipe out the team that way.
There's a lot, isn't there? There's a lot to throw in there. So right now we're looking for most likely a solo mid hero here for Balkan Bears. We've seen them a couple of times run mid Void. We've seen a lot of off-lane Void for them when Masakari was still playing with them. But I'm with you on this. Safe lane Void with the 2 supports. But what do you want from mid? Because right now a lot of your damage is, like you said, very Chronosphere-centric. Do you want like a playmaking hero to actually move around the map and try and control lanes relatively early on to give space for your supports and Faceless Void to get some semblance of levels and farms? Or do you want to just go fully all in? Like, do you want to pick a Shadow Fiend here just to like add the Requiem to it?
I mean, it's cool thing about Shadow Fiend is he still fights well without the Requiem, so I think that might still be a pretty solid pick. But I am worried that what they're doing is just a little bit too cast reliant. If NiP go for like something weird like a support silencer, suddenly their entire team fight gets shut down. So they want something that does good with right clicks, and they want something that can actually just go for powerful auto attacks and obviously some good attack range. So could see the SF mid, and he'd fill the role in that regard. Also, Presence of the Dark Lord is great with the Witch Doctor. So, I mean, the Death Ward doing that much more damage. Yeah, I think Shadow Fiend's a really strong pick, but anything with ranged physical damage is going to be an important thing to add to their lineup.
Yeah, very true. The Disruptor band there, followed by the Storm band from NiP. So we do see the Storm band out in the very end. The 5th pick for Balkan Bears. I wonder if that's what they were thinking, but no, they pick up the Wind Ranger. Does offer decent right-click physical attacks, but also adds in that little bit of magic damage and quite a good lane dominator here. But it's not set in stone what Ninjas in Pajamas are going to be running. They could have Queen of Pain mid, Magnus mid. Any of these heroes, could go into any roles. They could even potentially look at an aggro try with Jugger Venge, but against the Witch Doctor Skyrra, things get very messy, so that's sort of like, a 1% play. You're not going to be aiming for that.
Yeah, they'd rotate if they had to make that work for them, but generally speaking, it's not going to be their game plan. But I'll go back to what I said just a moment ago, and I think that Silencer is a huge pick here. I mean, if you see the Chronosphere comes out, all the other abilities follow immediately after. Maybe 1 second after, just halfway through the Chronosphere, whatever. The Death Ward, the Mystic Flare, the Supernova, they're all designed to go around this Chronosphere. But if you just have the Silencer stay back, wait for the Chronosphere, then hit the Global, suddenly that initiation doesn't mean anything. So I really like that pickup, but they're going to go with something a little bit different here, and this makes their lanes deadly. They could actually go for the aggro try easily with this, and I think it would strengthen their lanes as a whole, because then the Magnus gets more farm than he would in like an offlane situation. Limp, obviously, Queen of Pain doesn't really want to go in that offlane spot, but we have seen him there before. So I like the idea of aggro try, but we'll see if that's kind of what they feel they need to do.
I think the biggest issue with aggro try here is that, Jonas will be playing the safe lane Magnus, if that is the case. And against the Phoenix, he does not do well in that lane. He's not going to be able to get last hits because of Fire Spirits being so effective against one melee hero on their own. So I think you just try and shut down the Phoenix as much as you can. Don't make sure he doesn't get a quick level 6. Faceless Void's farm. I don't think it matters as much. It's mainly about levels for Balkan Bears. They want early levels and push into towers and really focus on getting kills early on. Ninjas in Pajamas have a lot more leeway with this. They don't have to completely stomp their laning phase.
No, they have some great wombo combo that can excel mid to late, but I still think they have to be a little bit worried about how impactful Exist Chronospheres can be, because we've seen in the past that he can really be a playmaker for whatever team he's playing on, and in this situation, if the Void connects with like a massive 3 or 4 man Chronosphere, BBC are just going to wipe out anybody within the bubble. So yeah, in general, I feel like if you're playing for the mid game, then you have to be a little bit concerned how effective this Void is going to be and how you spread your heroes. Like, obviously, Vengeful Spirit will be able to save one high-priority target with the swap out if she stays back. But other than that, counter-initiating against the Chronosphere is going to be hard, and for the most part, I think they actually have to jump the Void in to make sure that their fights work well. If you blink Hex on the Lion, blink RP Skewer back, something like that, there's a good chance that you'll win the fight once the Void is taken out. You can focus everything on him and feel confident with going in 5v4, even with no cooldowns.
Yeah.
But as far as letting the lane slip away and just go away easily, it's definitely an option for them, but it's also a risk.
Oh yeah, I'm fully with that. Like, if you just pop the RP onto that Void, make sure that he dies and there's no chrono used. BBC, they've got, some spells to fall back on, something to rely on, with Supernova being very annoying in these team fights, but Juggernaut's farm, if they can just safeguard that and make sure that for the first 9, 10, 11 minutes, whatever, he gets Phase Boots, Mask of Madness, and free reign through his jungle. Limp can go jumping around, finding kills on his supports, possibly, but what do you expect from the Queen of Pain? Orchid, Aghanims, because against Skarath Witch Doctor, that Arcane Seal is going to be a real annoyance up against that Queen of Pain.
Well, assuming that Blitz does the normal thing that you would expect him to, being a mid player himself, and just goes kind of 2v1 against the Queen of Pain, harasses the crap out of her, I expect she's going to be faring a lot of regen early, probably have to go for the treads and just stat items to kind of tank up in the first place. And then long term, she'll probably be moving in towards I think that Aghanims would be pretty solid, actually. But that just because the one thing that BBC don't have right now is the cooldowns to really keep fights rolling. Like the Death Ward isn't a long cooldown, and neither is the Mystic Flare or the Focus Fire. But the Supernova, as well as the Chronosphere, early on are extremely long in the context of this game. So if you can fight more frequently with those 40-second ultimates and such, you're going to be feeling better about yourself.
Is We Are dead here? We Are dead?
Yeah, yeah.
I was sort of watching that as it progressed and thought, hang on, I've got Juggernaut selected here, let's see, Weehar's already used Dive, he's already trying to bail out of this, but the Blade Fury from Era finding a very early solo kill.
Yeah, I mean, just getting enough disables, closing the distance there. It's not your boots first Juggernaut that you sometimes see burning play in the Chinese scene, but it's still effective enough to get the kill, and that really hurts Phoenix early. Like, you see how he's making his rotations around, doesn't really know where to go back to, because the lane's going to be completely out of his hand. It's going to get pulled back, and yeah, this Phoenix is suddenly kind of half support, half off lane, and what?
Yeah,
he's cliff jungling.
I've seen this before.
Oh,
I've seen it from Puck. Like, Funnick has done this on Puck. I've seen it from Phoenix. I can't remember who from. But because you don't have Fire Spirits, you can't go up and trade hits with the Vengeance line. And that means that you cannot do anything on this lane. Sure, Dive is good. But when there's Hex, stun, and then spin from Juggernaut, you just can't escape, really. So he's got to get up to level 2, maybe level 3. By going through the jungle. It's most likely going to be level 2, then head yourself back up to the top lane. Fire Spirits are so important when you're dealing with a defensive try.
Yeah, and it'll get some gold towards his Tranquil Boots too. I mean, even just the gold over time will put him that much closer to it, but getting a few Wild Wings here, yeah, he's going to find that opportunity to build up towards the Tranquils, and that'll allow him to stay on the lane permanently. But just the fact that that first blood came out, and he's already been forced off the lane to this degree, I think that takes Midas out of the question for them, because they're looking for a really strong mid game. You go for the hand of Midas to really build up that Supernova, but in the context of this game, he's already so far behind with his start that I actually think that you can't go Midas on this Phoenix. Just go Earnest Shadows, some HP items, maybe consider the mech for your team, but yeah.
Yeah, Yule's mech, something along those lines. I agree, he's pretty far behind. The only way I can see him still going for, Tranquil Boots, Earn Midas, something like that, is if he goes like 5 kills, Yaps are up on the cliff. Yona says, thanks for the rune, buddy, and now how are you going to get down? You've got boots, but you can't walk down the cliff. And there's no flying courier for another minute.
It won't be that long, but I mean, the courier goes back, gets the TP, then by the time it gets back down there, it'll be flying, and that'll be fine. But it is just a significant nuisance where the Witch Doctor is going to be level 1 this whole time.
And he can't stack, he can't pull, can't really do anything. Scarth Mage needs to sit pretty high up on this lane to zone out Magnus. And the toss-up here is zone out Magnus and stop him getting level, 3, 4, 5. Or you go and stack and pull and get some experience on Scarth himself. And like we've said, Scarth needs an early level 6 mid lane. They go in, Limp, blinks forward with a DD. Hook has nothing left, he's got no mana, just tries to trade hits. Houndskin was waiting in the wings, but he wasn't even needed.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I feel that the fact that the Skywrath Blitz has been sitting bottom this whole time is a show of confidence in Hook's potential to win the lane with the Wind Ranger versus Queen of Pain. And the fact that he just got killed off just by a DD rune alone kind of shakes that confidence. Now they'll blink onto Yapsor, and TP or not, he's going down. So that's only a level 1 kill. He's going to respawn very quickly, but it's still more momentum for this Queen of Pain. I mean, she just got the solo kill on the Wind Ranger. Now she kills off the Witch Doctor for free. It's just, I feel like they had confidence that Hook would be able to deal with this Queen of Pain threat, that Blitz didn't need to hover over the mid lane and could actually harass the Magnus instead. But now we see it's completely out of hand. Limp is dominating, and it's going to go very quickly in NiP's favor as he approaches level 6 and 7.
Yeah. Faceless Void down in bot lane is doing, reasonably well. He's got 1,300 gold, which, kind of points the direction towards a Midas for him. He's saving up a lot. He could obviously just head into the side shop and buy up treads or something like that. But Juggernaut at top. Era, complete free farm. Morbid Mask and Basilius, he can be he's self-sustaining right now in this lane. He can be left alone. Oh man, Hanskin, level 2 in Earthspike. Hex to start things off. Can he get a solo kill on Weehaw here? It looks like he might be able to. The Fire Spirits are incredibly annoying. He can't get... Oh! Just enough. That was max damage there from the Lion.
Yeah, I mean, Lion, of course, does put out a lot of base damage since his buff in 6.83, but that definitely is towards the top end of it with the 3 armor on the Phoenix. So, all in all, just It's really become a tough game for BBC. Weehaw getting dominated as he is, going back to the lane without Tranquil Boots, even buying himself a TP scroll shows that he is just going to be so far from that ring of regeneration. It's only 300 gold, but 300 gold means a lot in this situation, and they just scouted the ward he placed. They're already bringing sentries out. They're going to take care of that, and then he's just going to get ganked so hard from the Venge and the Lion.
Was that the ward he's had from the start of the game? It is, right? Because they've had the one observer down on bot watching the lane and a little bit into the river, and that's the ward that was bought in the fountain at the very beginning.
Yeah, they haven't bought in their second set, so that is the ward that he's been holding on to, and just immediately goes to waste.
Well, how we looking level-wise? Yeah. Kind of as I feared, the early laning stage that BBC needed. We are going to watch this first magic missile to start things off with a stun and hex from Hansken. That should be a pretty simple kill. Jonas even heading up from that bot lane, making a little wander all the way up to top to find a little bit of experience and gold. And there's Midas for the Void.
Yeah, ward's gone. Queen of Pain gets a nice ward mid. I actually like that they handed off one observer to her first so that she could take care of herself. And then they take care of top lane. Like, the Phoenix might as well just go back to the cliff jungling because that's the only thing that's worked for him this game.
It's so rough. Level 2, 5.5 minutes in. This is a hero that can completely dominate lanes, but if you don't get a good start, things can turn around pretty quickly. He's trying to stack up camps. He's got a couple of little trolls in there to take out. Dives across and heads up onto the cliff once again. Yep. Goes back into that safe position. Hook on this mid lane. He's a hero that we haven't really looked at. He died once to the Queen of Pain, but he's doing reasonably well here. He's outlasting Limp, but it's kind of expected with the better attack animation, the slightly better base damage. Oh, well, now Limp has treads. Things get a little bit switched into his favor. Jonas, are you going to stack Ancients? Where are you heading right now? He's back down to bot lane.
Yeah, not really emphasizing Empower early, I don't think. Like, they might get 1 point of it at level 4, and that's fine. But they're not, like, Empower stacking. They're not going to be saying, okay, Wave of Terror all these creeps, Juggernaut go on them as quickly as possible, get that Empower up, and just clear them all out. That's not the game plan for getting Juggernaut as farm. He's happy to just farm his own jungle, give the lane back to the Lion, and get both of them online. Handskin with an early Blink Dagger.
They've got 2 heroes farming the jungle right now. Yapzor is pretty much given up on the lane. He's heading into the jungle, trying to get up to his level 6, which... whose level 6 is more important, though? Blitz with the Mystic Flare into Chrono, or the Death Ward from Witch Doctor?
I think the Death Ward is a little bit better. There's not really any quick spells that'll take the Death Ward out if the key's behind the Chronosphere. Like, if you just imagine a team fight where NiP is on one side, there's a Chronosphere in the middle, and the Witch Doctor's on the back side, hitting targets that are within. I think the Death Ward's just a little bit more powerful, but either one will be able to benefit from it. It's just kind of who's going to be able to build up the Aghanims. That's the big thing here. It's not only getting the levels on the Witch Doctor, but also getting gold for him, where the Skywrath is not. So that's, I think the game-winning move is to prioritize that Aghanim Scepter over a lot of other things, and once the Witch Doctor gets that, there's some real hope for their mid to late game.
Yeah, and here's the transition we were waiting for. Era heads into the jungle. Not going for the regular Phase Boots Mom build. He's going into Treads, it looks like, but giving Lion space up at top is something they pretty desperately need. He's already got 1,000 gold saved up. Heading into that level 6, getting a quick Blink Dagger up on him is going to be pretty damn good. Weehaw. Level 3.5. He's 2 levels behind this 4-role support. Even the Vengeful Spirit has brown boots and running around, while Skywrath Blitz is not having such a great time. Saving up for boots, still a long road.
I'll take that.
And it looks like the Phoenix might feed again. He'll go for an Icarus Dive TP. I think it's going to be enough to get him out of there, actually. For now, he holds position, but that's dangerous. Like, the Wave of Terror could actually scout him out. Okay, he will go ahead TP to the tower real quick. And the Dire Observer Ward now actually gets more value. If you look at Dire Vision, before it just sees the river, now it actually has like a little spot here to scout out thanks to those trees being destroyed.
The trouble with TPing here, though, is that he has no dive for another 10 seconds now, so he can't go near the lane. The lane is so far pushed up, as well as that catapult wave. Hansken will be looking to try and just hold it here. Because then they know that he's got no vision. We can move the Vengeful Spirit and Lion in. With level 6, Finger of Death is nearly up on line. The Phoenix doesn't stand a freaking chance.
Yeah, but the idea is at least somebody's getting pressure up top. Like, otherwise the supports are, the Venge is free to roam wherever she wants. Era can look for either the Roshan play or just an Omni Slash play. Actually, mid lane, gonna be a combo, and Magical Nukes and Pure Damage kills the Courier with the Sonic Wave, and Hook is dropping low. He will survive. Gonna go for the Chronosphere return, but they need more right-click damage.
Ward.
The Healing Ward! Oh my gosh, the Healing Ward versus Power Shot.
But Era does have the Omni Slash with the Mask of Mana, cleaning that up pretty nicely. That healing ward, though, MVP. Era pulling out all the stuff to save his teammate. But I don't know. Void comes in looking for the quick and easy kill. Not going to get so lucky. And that's the first chrono of the game, right? That's just gone.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's been holding that for a little while there. It's just, I mean, he has Midas and Power Charts. He doesn't have Mask of Madness. That's the difference between having Hand of Midas and having a Mask of Madness. Pretty much the same gold cost, but as far as the value there, he's going to build up better long term. But in those situations, he's looking for the kill, and he doesn't find it. It's very painful. And the Courier lost as well. Sonic Wave clips on it, and that one's down for 2 minutes.
It was only a gauntlet of strength, but it's Phoenix's gauntlet. And he needs every item he can possibly get. That little bit of strength is going to be incredibly important. Lion gets himself a Blink Dagger 10 minutes into the game.
He's like, that's a tenth of my net worth, guys. Come on. Please.
Yeah. I wonder, actually, what is like the fastest blink on a Lion? I'm pretty sure it's like Kuroki with 8.5, 9 minutes or something ridiculous like that. But 10 minutes is fantastic. Quite often we see like a 30-minute blink as being very quick. 18, 19-minute blink as being pretty decent, and then you sort of post 20-minute being pretty standard. But man, this Lion, Hanskin, he's going to be jumping around. They might smoke up here. Yeah, Vengeful Spirit with a smoke. You could head into Roche. You've got Healing Ward, Mask of Madness. Maybe you go for pick off first. Exist is going to head into that jungle for his Midas onto a creep, but where are they?
Generally speaking, what you do is you Wave of Terror, Roche, and then you move on. The Lion and the Venge will look for kills while Era does Roche, so you create space, you maybe find an extra kill, and of course you set up the Roche on. But in this case, they're just going to have Lion waiting, hovering over top with the Blink Dagger hidden, and then the other two are going to stay in the pit.
There's no real contest here. Exist could go in with the chrono. It's up in 10 seconds, but Roshan is probably dead by then, actually. With the minus armor, the attack speed, Era heading into Sanjin Yasha after his treads. This does give a little room to Blitz down in the bot lane. He's level 6, heading into level 7, so he's got his ultimate available. Oh, man. Vulcan Bears, you're going to scout it out, but it's just a little bit too late. Era's already got the Aegis Immortal. He turns back around with Seal Kid on the front lines. The swap sends back Hook. The Blink Hex from Hanskin now. The cast not going to bounce as Exist gets a 2-man chrono. Onto Era and Seal Kid. Earth Spike.
Oh, nice
off the mark, but now Sonic Wave across 2. They're not going to find any kills here. They do not have a further stun. Omni Slash not going to be able to get into range.
So it seems small, but that's a really good step in the right direction for BBC. The fact that the Void didn't hit by anything there is incredible. That was not just backtrack. I think he backtracked the Scream, but he actually sidestepped both the Earth Spike and the Sonic Wave. So 2 abilities that should have brought him low very quickly. Instead he avoids. We do see a trade 1-for-1 up top. The Phoenix goes down, but the Magnus does get sniped in the end there by the power shot. Well, boots! Boots!
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to point out. Like, the biggest thing is here that Jonas went in, he skewered RP'd and caught Weeha and stole his Tranquil Boots. Holy crap. That's his entire net worth. Weeha drops from like 2k to 1,000.
Oh my gosh, this is rage quit time. Like, he better have put cheats on for this game because there's no way to come back from this. Oh my gosh.
Give gold, and then whatever the value of Tranquil Boots is, he jumps in onto Hanskin, he's got Earth Spike, but no Hex. Mana Drain available, but he gets stunned up, shackled to the tree, and taken out. Wave of Terror will help them secure the kill back onto the Phoenix. As now in comes the Omni Slash. Era says, thank you very much for the kill. And in the end, it's a 3-for-1. Lion dropping, but 2 cores from Vulcan Bears will suffer the same fate. And I kind of struggle calling the Phoenix a core right now, because even though
I struggle calling him a hero. He can't begin this game at all.
he's been given farm priority. It's just the fact that he's not been able to take it.
He's 0 and 5. The best he can do is Supernova next to a Chronosphere and hope he does get right-clicked 5 times.
How do you Supernova when there's Orchid on Queen of Pain now, though? Lem's going to be blinking in, looking for that kill over and over again.
This is bad. This is really, really bad. Honestly, the Phoenix is going to have so much difficulty coming back into this game at all. He is bootless. He is barely level 6. And the enemy is just going to get more aggressive. Down bottom, we're going to see the Chronosphere come out on the Magnus. Exist doing some good right-click damage. 1 good time lock and the follow-through. They do get their 4th kill of the game.
Yeah, well-timed shackled there. They also had Mystic Flare coming in, but they didn't need it just then. But now Hans can blink forward and Hex onto Hook. He'll look for the Earth Spike onto Blitz just to try and zone him out, deter him from coming in. Hook, no! You don't turn around with Limps here with a Queen of Pain Orchid. Swap back, and that's going to be Blitz's life as well. They've caught themselves in this. Okay, we're going to save our teammates. Save our teammates. Finger of Death onto Weehaw with a Sonic Wave. Death Ward onto Seal Kid will secure his doom. Maybe. One more hit, someone jump forward, and they're not going to find it. Limp exits with a triple kill, and Vengeful Spirit somehow on a tiny amount of HP will survive.
Yeah, I mean, they exhausted all their ultimates. They really just can't pursue. I mean, they popped everything they could. Obviously, the Phoenix didn't get his ulti off, but I don't know. At this point, like, he only loses 45 gold on his death because, like, anytime he's around a kill, the assist gold outweighs it. So I guess, yeah, suicidal plays whenever they have their ultis are going to be the best way to play it. But in the end, NiP are just rolling this snowball, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Queen of Pain going to be building up towards that Aghanim Scepter most likely for now in Ogre Club.
Well, overall, we're looking at about a 10,000 lead 15 minutes into the game in terms of net worth. About 7.5k experience. A lot of this does lie on the Juggernaut and Queen of Pain. The line is ahead of the Magnus. He's still building towards his Blink Dagger, but with that tower falling and then the ability to head through the jungle, take out a couple of creep camps, and, you know, you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. You're limiting how much farm BBC can get to drag themselves, kicking and screaming back into this game, but you're pushing yourself towards that big teamfight ultimate capability. Blink in without anyone knowing. Couple it up with that Juggernaut empowered, and things are not going to be looking good for Balkan Bears. As if it's not looking bad enough already.
Yeah, it's pretty disastrous. We're gonna, I mean, maybe see some roaming rotations, get the supports involved. Next Chronosphere is coming up soon, and there is a Mask of Madness now on it. So as long as there is no disable against the Void inside the sphere, there is some real kill potential. But I mean, they're just gonna have to rely heavily on the comeback and try to move together as 5 whilst catching NiP off guard, which is just it's a tall order. Weehaw here, he's literally just trying to soak experience in the trees. He's hiding, he's getting levels, and that's all he can really ask for.
16 minutes in. This is something you see, 3 or 4 minutes in from maybe Tidehunters, Magnus, a Morphling off lane. We've seen that, over at MLG, where you just literally hide in the trees, wait to get up your a couple of levels. But Weehaw is this far behind, he desperately needs it. And you're saying about catching NiP off guard. Look at their warding. They've got lane ward up on top lane, so they've got pretty damn good scouting capabilities up there, watching from secret shop to lane to tier 2 tower. They don't have the sort of omnipotent cliff ward up on that spire, but I don't think they really need it. Then another one deep in the jungle, again, watching for where Balkan Bears are going to be farming, where they're going to be trying to get this catch-up gold from. And it's going to be from the side lanes. Mid lane is pretty difficult to push out onto. There's so many little avenues in from Fog here for NiP to actually get in onto that mid lane and stop them farming waves.
So this may be Dota's latest build timing for the second pair of Tranquil Boots on a Phoenix. I don't know. It's just, I know they don't even count items this low of value, but holy crap, this is taking a while. He finally gets the second Tranquils here at 17 minutes. He is at the tier 2 boots levels, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see what he can do with it. But yeah,
give him a round of applause.
Yeah, seriously. And just take her stab away immediately. It's terrifying to be even in this position in this game. But yeah, I will say that they do have 2 smokes available. They just exhausted 1, but they still have these other 2. So I would still say just keep looking for smoke plays. Like, just, if you have to, stay in smoke for the next minute and a half, searching for kills. Because if you find people with the Skywrath, the Wind Ranger, the Void, then that will still give you those opportunities. And I think that's an important thing to remember. Exist just going to use this Hand of Midas here on the Centaur? Oh, no.
Weehaw at top lane. They smoked around for him. You're saying how Balkan Bears, maybe if they utilize their smokes and go and look for a pick-off here and there, hide yourself up and try and turn things around like that, but they're having it done to them. They're having it done to them right now. Limp has Orchid heading into that Is BKB done? BKB is completed 18 minutes in as a secondary item here for the Queen of Pain. While the Faceless Void is trying to build up into his, it looks like. Could be an Aghanim Scepter. You were mentioning earlier the cooldowns don't really sync up for the rest of the team. Aghanim's does allow you to do that, but he needs BKB.
Yeah, definitely not. Like, in an ideal world where you're not getting stunned 3 different times in your ultimate, that would be a beautiful pickup, and it does help out their desynchronization issues for their ultis. But as Hook takes a lot of damage.
To Limp. Here comes the RP. No, just skewer back. Yep, sword taken after. Wind Ranger has already fallen. One after another. Balkan Bears dropping like flies. Exist still trying to farm away at mid. Weehaw is sticking up on this top lane, but they're running out of towers. They're running out of space as the noose is closing in around them.
Yep. So yeah, Void will get his BKB here in maybe 3 or 4 minutes if he's lucky, and NiP, they're just going to probably look to go for the second Roche around that time. And that's when they're going to look to fight with the Aegis on top, where the Chrono isn't as impactful. It's not like, okay, you jump on the core hero, you get the Chronosphere, you get them out of the fight, and you engage the rest of the fight 5v4. No, it's more like that person's just going to be hitting your tower on the front line with Aegis on top, and your best bet is to engage on them, but even then, they're either going to be swapped out, or they're going to have that second life insured. So... yeah, it's a really tough time. Look at Era, just cutting down Ancients, no problem at all. Clearing out, about to have his Scotty, and Roche is respawning at nearly the fastest timer possible, 30 seconds.
I've just been watching him move from jungle camp to jungle camp, and I noticed, okay, stacked up Ancients. This Empower, he's doing such a ridiculous amount of damage. You couple in the Vengeful Spirit Aura on top of that, which has been maxed out, I want to say as well. Era, look at that, Roshan just dies in 5 seconds. Maybe with a couple of lucky batches, Roshan can keep himself alive a little bit longer. Era says, nope. You're taking your dutiful Aegis Immortal. Skadi now in what, 400 gold?
Ooh, the smoke play top. Can they get a kill? I don't know. The Blink Dagger's there, so they need a power shot to start it, to put it on cooldown. They get some vision. I think they saw Seal Kit. And now they're terrified. They're like, suddenly more heroes are here than just the one. If we don't have a 3v1, we don't fight. That's pretty much the bottom line. But Limp with the Invis Rune.
They missed the Earth Spike, but genuinely, it does not matter. Wave of Terror, a few more right clicks will get that little kill. Limp on a monster kill streak. Exist was trying to clear out the large camp, but realizes, hang on a second, something's not right here. TP's to bot lane, will continue his farm there. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Who's heading through the Radiant jungle? Era. Era, you've got a ward up here. You're scouting out Blitz right now. He's behind the tier 2. You could dive this. You could dive this. Go for the Omni Slash. Just kill him straight up. Yeah, back to creeps though. Not getting the... okay. I was going to say not getting lucky bounces, but in the end he does.
Yeah, and he could even pop the Manta and just have them right-click him down to finish it off. It's not really... I mean, in this position, the only thing the Juggernaut doesn't have is level 16. As soon as he has that, like, he is full carry mode, can put the entire game on his shoulders, and there's pretty much nothing BBC can do. They can try, but like with the Aegis of the Immortal, with the Manta to break out of silence, like only a Chronosphere and 5 people focusing him down is what can stop this man. And with the Aegis, not even then. Now Lion down bottom does make the jump onto Hook. They don't try to turn it around after they get 1 or 2 spells. It's all gonna be the solo Chrono.
Well, back from Seal Kid.
Oh man.
Spike and Finger of Death. Good night, Exist. Now the blink forward from Liv. Maledict onto him after the cast, but Sonic Wave's not going to land. He expected a little juke forward here from Hook. He'll shackle back, trying to get a counter kill. Hanskin will drop. Yep, one more. But Hook is Limp not going to go for this. He's backed himself up. I guess he's got no BKB, running low on health. One power shot could finish him off.
No TP scroll either. That's a painful lack of TP scroll. He's kind of hedged him by that ward. Now he power shots out to try to scout his way out of here, but Limp keeps on the hunt. Meanwhile, in mid lane, tier 3s are falling. Arrow and Yonasan Fan have been here for a while. The Blink Skewer will fail, but even still, he just stays on these racks.
They can't find Limp. They're running around everywhere looking for him. He jumps into the trees and blinks himself back out again. So 3 heroes on the hunt trying to save Hook, but yeah, middle lane already dead.
So much space created. That's just, I mean, that's your racks. Like, not sure what else to say about that. That's them just going ahead without any big commitment. Just the 2 heroes in the Aegis. They say, okay, well, we take these racks for free, and the Juggernaut holds onto the Manta just in case they try to engage, just in case they try to pursue with silence. Doesn't even use it for sieging for that reason. It's just Era so reserved, very... like, he's not given into the adrenaline of this game. The fact that they have such a kill lead, they're just he's still playing it safe, holding on to his Manta style active, and making it so that there's absolutely no way they can come back against him.
I still cannot believe this, though. I'd like to know, like, I've seen it before. We had Somail about 3 months ago play a Faceless Void, and he had one of the highest net worths for 15 minutes with like 14,000, something along those lines. But here, 23 minutes in, you're closing in on 20,000 net worth on this Juggernaut. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. He's just been free farming 6 and 0. He's not died once. He's got Empower as well. With the attack speed and damage with Splash, he's just clearing through creep waves, clearing through jungle camps. Nothing is stopping Era right now.
Yeah, I mean, his damage is just absurd. He gets an 86% bonus between the Vengeance Aura and the Empower, so he's already doing a lot with his base agility and the whatever he gets from his items, but I mean, in this position, if he goes for Butterfly, like, he's just going to be able to wipe out the team with a single Omni Slash. And that's, if they're clumped up, that's not an exaggeration. They'll be spread out, so that'll be one thing, but it's still so painful. I guess maybe MKB against the Wind Ranger might be an okay option instead of Butterfly, though.
Yeah, that could work. Just increase your damage output a little bit more. I'm not sure if you're really that afraid of the damage output, but he goes for the Eagle Song to go down that route, it looks like. Smoke up here on top, though. Blitz leading the charge, getting ready with that Mystic Flare exit. Chrono at the ready. Limp gets jumped on now. This could be a kill onto Limp. Ancients, oh, yeah, they'll secure it. Nice, big monster kill streak going the way of Blitz, actually, not the way of Exist, unfortunately for them. But big kill, quite a nice amount of experience and gold. What was that? One kill gave them 3,300 experience to split between the two of them. Gave Blitz 1,500 freaking gold and about 800 over the way of the Faceless Void.
Yeah, but meanwhile at the base, the Radiant's just trying to hold. They get the Medallion of Courage on the Venge. He's able to tank, or sorry, onto the Juggernaut. He's able to tank anything he wants. And yeah, at this point, as long as he uses his Manta appropriately. He did just lose Aegis, and that did not heal him at all because of the tower hits, but yeah, he still is pretty confident just with the Manta alone. But I don't know. I guess if he's as playing as passive as he seems to be with the usage. Again, he has not used Manta yet. I think that's like really important distinction between some players who are feeling really confident in themselves and their teammates and others. Era, like, he could easily be spamming this Manta active off cooldown and getting a little bit more tower damage, but because he's a little bit afraid of the Skyrest silence, he holds it the entire time. And since he's playing that reserved with his Manta, I presume the team as a whole is going to be patiently awaiting the next first respawn.
Yeah, I don't see why not. They've got plenty of areas to farm up as well. Jonas with the Blink and Force Staff. We haven't seen a big RP from them. They haven't needed to. They've not been in the position where they're defending a tower and BBC have pushed up hard and grouped up. There's been a couple of one-man, two-man RPs, but there hasn't been that big spectacular one. But he doesn't need to pull out the big plays. Just go for the pretty standard, simple, okay, blink skewer, blink skewer. Just keep repeating that cycle over and over again. They're getting themselves kills pretty easily. Escape mechanisms over on BBC. The dive on Phoenix, the wind run from Wind Ranger, time walk from the Faceless Void. Not really that great when there's a blink hex from Hanscan, which has been coming to play pretty often.
Yep. I mean, the Void Soul is a 10-second BKB, so he is strong in that regard, but the damage that's just going to be coming out in spite of it is absurd. Now that Era has finished his Butterfly, he's level 17. The only one he can't just utterly destroy is the Wind Ranger with her Wind Run. Like, he doesn't have MKB yet, so he isn't going to be able to just obliterate her, but everybody else is dead in an Omni Slash, guaranteed. Like, there's no way about it. You can probably have 4 or 5 creeps, and as long as he's empowered, you're still going to die to it. It doesn't matter. He has, if you look at his damage, how it gets boosted up by Empower, especially if he's standing next to the Vengeful Spirit, all this agility turns straight into green damage. 50% of it goes right into bonus. So
take a look at the Rune bot.
Oh my god, no. Just, that's 186 plus base damage. Yeah, that's.
Oh boy.
Please no. Please no.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Wind Ranger can still die to Omni Slash. He's sitting on 1500 HP. It's still possible. If there's another hero next to her, you know, the Splash is still gonna jump over to her. So it's still gonna be careful. But with the Force Staff, I do agree that she's still got the best chance out of the 5 heroes over in the Radiant to escape from the Juggernaut, to keep her lifespan extended for a short while. But this is, you know, this got out of hand very early this game. It's a gem up on Sealkid right now, so warding for the Radiant. They've got to come up with some pretty sneaky spots. A couple of Spire wards up on the high ground, just to give a nice overview of the area that is pretty much straight outside of their base. Where are NiP? Where are they pushing in? Where do we have to try and defend? Where do we position ourselves? Because right now, it's going to be all about positioning from Vulcan Bears. If they can get themselves, you know, a decent team fight. I'm talking about trading 3 for 2 or so. Oh, top lane, man, oh man, Blitz. That's not where you want to be. Did they smoke up looking for a kill again?
I feel like he got ganked. I don't really feel like there was a kill opportunity there. Maybe trying to bait with one and then get the Void in there, but he wasn't even close. So honestly, just all they get of is a Sonic Wave cooldown, which is not that bad considering it's not agged up. It's over 2 minutes. But yeah, meanwhile, Arrow's farming. I mean, with the double damage rune and Empower, Arrow was hitting for 500 damage. It's just, at this point, the map is his. The world is his oyster. He's fluttering about, being as efficient as possible, but yeah, he's broken 300 CS, and with this next Roche respawning here in about 30-40 seconds, NiP look to take that and take the game.
If he goes and takes these ancient stacks, he's going to break 800 GPM. 30 minutes in on a Juggernaut. Pretty insane right now from Era. 609 crits with the Empower. No Vengeance or Anirium up at top. We saw Steelkid split pushing. When the Vengeful Spirit is the hero that's split pushing, basically up to where the tier 2 used to be standing, you know something's wrong. Because Balkan Bears can't really leave their base without smoking up as 5, which they're doing right now, looking through their jungle probably to try and find Era. They know Aegis is down. They know that Roshan could be respawning, and he does actually respawn right now. Mantra Illusion is going to be sent through to scout out. Exist. This is perfect timing. If Balkan Bears can find this, if they can find Era near the Ancient, Steelkid sees Roche. There's so many ifs, but Ninjas in Pajamas, like you said, they're being so passive, actually pulling back. They've got the ward coverage. They know that they're not defending mid. Something's up. Where are they? No one's defending mid, top bot. There's farm to be had for Balkan Bears. They've got to be doing something funky. Are they in our jungle? Are they trying to sneak Roshan here? The counter smoke from NiP.
Yeah,
where do we head? Jonas has the RP ready. Roshan's not dropping fast enough.
This is going to be disaster. The RP coming through. This should wipe everything out in an instant. They'll try for it. Exist. Where's the Chrono
Here we go. RP onto 4. Exist gets the Chrono down. They'll try and bring one, but Finger of Death takes Bush Doctor out of the fight instantly. He gets Roche. Aegis Small gets picked up, but Exist is already dead. Cheese is on the floor. And this looks pretty much game over. Exist jumps himself out. He will die in the end. Magic Missile not disjointable. Skewered back up onto the cliff. Jonas says, hello. This is my kill, but Skewer swap. They're basically toying with Exist. You know, it's like the school kid bullies. They steal your shoes or something like that, and they're just throwing it between them saying, hi, you can't catch him, you can't catch him. That's what they're doing to Exist right now.
Because essentially he's the skinny, scrawny nerd in this situation. Like, he just can't compete at that level against that level of farm. I mean, he literally Era is doubling his GPM, his net worth. Era was able to do 3,500 with just the Omni Slash in that fight. Like, just jumping in, he's empowered, everybody's RP together, and he just goes for like this anime move of the ultimate Omni Slash. Now just farming their fountain practically. There's a supernova, and
it's gone. It's gone. Mystic Flash dropped, but GG is already called. Ninjas in Pajamas. Pretty, like, Dominant doesn't cut it. Just completely outclassing BBC here. But we have a game 2 coming up, guys, between these two teams. This is a best of 3. So there's potentially 2 more games after this series. We do have the loser of this going up against Power Rangers to see who heads on through the lower bracket. Oh man, I want to go and check that Dota now. I want to go and see, because Juggernaut ending on 802, net worth, GPM of 827. That's pretty freaking nuts.
Yeah, that certainly is. He's been amped up like crazy. The only thing they could have done more is go like a core ogre and give him bloodlust to help his farm out. Like, that's the only thing. Otherwise, they just put him up on a pedestal, gave him the perfect game, and yeah, he hit a home run.
Well, guys, we'll be back in a couple of minutes here with game number 2 between Balkan Bears and NiP in the D2CL playoffs. Don't go anywhere.